Tonight, we toast to the Dave Mastiff push.
If it hasn't happened now, it won't happen later. You'll never be champion or as good as Vader. Gentlemen, raise your beverages. It's an NXT party.
Come on, Mace. You gotta say, I do, I do, I do, I do.
I do, I do, I do, I do.
That was the whitest version of that I've ever heard.
Making Miracle Whip look like Wesley Snipes over there.
I love you guys. Welcome everybody to the NXT party for episode number 85 of NXT UK. I'm the rated R reviewer Stefan Osborne, joined as always by the General Jerry Slaughter.
Good morning, wrestling fans.
And our two special guests, the two Chris's. We've got Chris Mace, Chris Willis, both wearing my shirt, and just so happens Jerry didn't get the memo, apparently.
Fuck Stefan Osborne Appreciation Day.
Good brother, how's it going? Yeah.
It's good to be. Yep.
Holiday. Looking like a ghost. Willis looking like a shadow. We did the best we could, folks. Trust me, we dedicated 10 minutes to trying to get him a little darker and him a little lighter, and it just
didn't work out very well.
This is actually really good compared to how it started, if you could imagine.
A lot of racial undertone went into this.
We might have some outtakes.
There will be outtakes.
I hope so. Anyway, let's get this started. I want to preface this by saying I was extremely whelmed, to use Jerry's phrase, by this show. I was very hyped about this last week. I was like, we have a show where we actually know all 4 matches for this show going in, and some of them aren't half bad.
Yeah.
Isla Dawn versus Valkyrie, I was hopeful for, because Isla Dawn is sort of like the first actual challenger that Valkyrie's had. Somebody that's had at least some build up, a few wins in NXT UK. Mm-hmm. And we had Ridge Holland being promised in a match. Granted, we figured it was going to be a jobber, and it's sort of like a name jobber, like a name brand jobber. It was Saxon Huxley.
It was the great value of NXT UK.
And of course we knew about the championship match, but we also knew Travis Banks, which I'm like, blah, but he's going to be fighting Alexander Wolf, and it's like, And this actually starts the show, well, before the credits, the opening credits, we have a video package, and this is just for Dave Mastiff.
Yeah.
So they are trying their last-ditch effort at the very beginning of the show to build up Dave Mastiff.
To make us give a shit about him.
Yes. Nothing about Walter except the fact that he's challenging Walter, but Walter doesn't need a video package, and he doesn't get a video package. He doesn't need it. It's Walter.
It's Walter, no.
We do start the show with Travis Banks versus Alexander Wolf. Now, this is the match that got me above the whelm.
Yes.
It's
really weird to say because we are so usually disappointed by Travis Banks matches, but when he shows up and doesn't get injured, they're pretty entertaining.
I have as many notes for this match as I have for the rest of the matches on the show, which is a tell, because you know how I am. But I want to start with Chris Willis. What do you think about the opening match?
Oh, I really enjoyed this match between Alexander Wolf and Travis Banks. Those guys wrestled a good 10 to 11 minutes, I believe. Mm-hmm. I felt like the match was really back and forth. It felt like a chess game between those two. But at the end, Alexander Wolf got the victory.
Yep.
Mace?
One of the better Travis Banks performances. I'm so used to him getting injured or just doing some fuckery and double count out bullshit. So Like I said, he started off with the fire. Like you said, he wanted to just go after Wolf. He started beating the shit out of him early. He was going back and forth. It was a damn good match. Like I said, Wolf getting the win at the end was the right way I figured it was going to go, and pretty much it.
Well, they put over Travis Banks as best they could without giving him the win. He got his finisher in. The only thing that saved Alexander Wolf was rolling to the outside, well, to the apron.
Yeah.
Jerry, did you think Alexander Wolf had this match in the bag, or were you like, Travis Banks could actually win?
I was actually really 50-50 on this match. I really was. I was hoping Alexander Wolf was going to win because that would,
make sense.
It would make sense. But Chris Willis actually said it best a little bit ago. Like this performance was one of the better ones we've seen out of Travis Banks. A, I think it's because Alexander Wolf pulled it out of him, and B, he's just getting better and better as he goes along. Like, I'm still not the biggest Travis Banks fan, but I'm starting to see a little bit more of the appeal because he's actually getting more offense in, and as long as you stay injury free for more than like a week and a half, we may actually start seeing some like better matches out of him.
Okay, back the truck up here. Alexander Wolf did his fair share in this match. I think the credit here goes to the booker. Whoever booked this match and the layout of it was very smart. As far as Travis Banks goes, the only things that I've seen from him that are new to him are not new to me. He is ripping off every fucking body else.
Yeah.
Everything. Like, his finisher is basically a Trouble in Paradise, but he comes off the corner.
Kofi did it!
Which is fine, but it doesn't seem original enough that like, for me, the Kiwi Crusher is a more original finisher.
And even in low key was using that back in Ring of Honor and as Senshi.
But anyway, I like him just fine, but not enough to I think it was the structure of this match that got me. Let me lay out some shit. Banks ducks a big boot. Hits a running knee. This starts off the match. Like,
yeah, the pump kick just failed.
Wolf goes immediately for a pump kick, misses, gets a running knee, and then he does a tope suicida outside, but he comes between the bottom and the middle rope and just like hugs this motherfucker as he comes down, throws him back in the ring, and hits a reverse double stomp where Alexander Wolf was a little bit away from the corner, so he jumps up from the corner but backwards and does a double stomp, kind of a
across his shoulder blades, wasn't it? Like on his back.
It was onto something because eventually he hits a double stomp again, but he does it to his chest, but they're on the fucking apron. Yeah. But that's later. Let's see. Wolf counters a slice of heaven with a European uppercut, and then finally hits the running big boot. This is where he takes over for a little bit, and it's a little bit of a slow match, but it's not too bad. It's bearable.
Yeah.
And then Banks actually hits the slice of heaven, but again, Wolf rolls to the apron, and he tries to do a powerbomb on the apron, but Banks fights out of it into the corner. Well, first, Banks tried to do a fucking Kiwi Crusher on the apron, but Wolf gets out of that. Anyway, Banks is up on the corner, but then Wolf knocks him off. Or no, that's where he hits the double stomp. My bad. But he goes for a punt kick that he hit earlier in this flurry of offense that he had earlier on. But Wolf blocks it with a forearm and then double leg
take, or yeah,
axe handle. Axe handles both his legs out from under him onto the apron. And then let's see. Gets into the ring and hits a DDT. Only gets a near fall. But then ends up hitting that sit-out powerbomb number 1 for the pinfall.
That twisting, they call it twisting neck breaker, but it looks more like a twisting DDT. That's always sick looking too.
Yeah, I missed that.
Whether it be on the apron or in the ring.
So at the beginning of the match, he hit one where it's sort of like a suplex into a swinging DDT, but after he knocked him off in the apron, or knocked his legs out from under him onto the apron, he dragged him and draped him and hit that swinging DDT on the outside. And then that's where he threw him inside, hit a DDT inside, and got a near fall. But yeah, again, once he hit that sit-out powerbomb, which he just nails.
He nails it every time.
Better than Batista. He falls into the cover perfectly every time. Anyway, he gets the win. There you go. The return of Eddie Dennis, at least in the form of a promo, and this was... Are they changing his character again?
I think they're going to use this whole... I think they're going to use this whole headmaster / principal thing and just use that as almost like a brainwashing, almost like manager thing until he's actually cleared to wrestle again.
Or forever, because he's never cleared for
He's
long.
never cleared to wrestle ever.
Chris Mace, what'd you make of this promo?
Kind of wondering if he's doing some kind of, character where he's trying to brainwash people, trying to get people into, believing everything he's saying, I'll strengthen your mind, I'll do it. You can beat me physically or do something physically, but I can strengthen you, I can beat you mentally. I don't know if he's trying to, portray his characters, that he's going to try to do some, kind of cult character or cult leader kind of thing, or what he's trying to do. It's kind of interesting so far.
Chris, let me ask Chris. Chris Willis, who do you think would be susceptible to this at this point? Do you see any of the stars that we have right now pretty much falling under Eddie Dennis's guidance?
Ooh, I would say maybe T-Bone, because he really needs a victory, because he hasn't won any match in a long, long time. But that promo, to me, was just out of nowhere, out of the blue. I was like, okay, this is very different and weird.
Well, my first question is, how injured was he? Yeah. He was injured enough to get rid of the Progress Championship. However, now we see him in a promo, and I didn't think about maybe him forming a stable, but definitely if he's looking for somebody to fall under, Joseph Connors. Easily. He's in the perfect frame of mind for this.
I'd either take, two of the people he's already worked with before, either Flash Morgan Webster or Mandrews, and go ahead and just split up that team and do something different with them.
So Flash Morgan Webster, because he's the guy that needs to be a heel so he could smack people in the head with his...
Yes!
With his helmet.
That helmet is too awesome of a foreign object to not be used for heel tactics.
Or maybe he's coming back to wrestle and they're just, making him look maniacal, like he's mentally,
Yeah.
He's like, anybody can be beaten physically, and it's like, yeah, especially when, you break your shoulder. It happens, brah. It happens. So we get a video package next. And this is I've never seen this before, I don't think, ever. Ever. So this might be a first for any WWE programming I've ever seen. It was a video package, spoiler alert, for the entire tag team division.
Yeah.
It starts off with a promo for, I almost wrote down the name of the tag team, I can't remember, one tag team, but then it branches off into all the other tag teams in the entire division, and then it focuses in on the champs. But then it broadens back out to everybody else again, and then it just ends with a picture of the tag team championship titles, which to me are some of the best looking titles in all of WWE right now.
NXTea. Yeah.
I'm not a fan of the bars that they have going on in between the faceplate and the nameplates, but whatever. I still think they're
sexy.
Yeah, they're definitely the sexiest thing going on after my shirt.
I think if anything, it's probably setting up for a tournament to for challengers at the in Dublin.
I don't know, but we've been saying for the last year that somehow, some way, NXT UK has got the best tag team division in the entire WWE roster.
And it showed.
And this is like them being like, "Oh, we heard you, bro. Let's
montage.
Let's take a moment, to montage the NXT UK tag team division." So I kind of like this.
They even threw the Pretty Deadly in on the end.
Yeah, everybody. They had,
They had Amir Jordan and
there we go.
Kenny Williams.
That is now back together, sort of. Everybody, and I'm surprised they didn't have Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch in there.
That was a shock.
But anyway, let's move on. Our second match of the night, Saxon Huxley comes out, and I'm like, well, we knew our 4 matches, and he's about to lose to Ridge Holland, underline.
Luke Menzies!
So at the very least, Ridge Holland was not getting a full-on jobber. It's actually somebody with a contract, although he is a professional jobber.
Yeah.
I mean, let's give Saxon Huxley his due. He is slightly not as good as Jack Stars, but he's still up there, man. He's still up there. He might actually have a win somewhere.
Not here.
Oh, anyway. Yeah, he's not going to get it tonight because it's Ridge Holland, who has a new finisher. Same name, new finisher. I hate that.
Well, he used the Alabama Slam that last time, but now it's actually being used as a finisher, which is weird because I actually mentioned that on the last time he wrestled.
So, what was his finisher called? The
Northern
Grit. Okay, yeah. So it used to be a snowplow, which I thought was just fine.
Because it's
not complete. It's not original by any means, but nobody is using it right now. And it was good enough for Al Snow. Why is it not good enough for somebody that's bigger than Al Snow? But now it's the Alabama Slam with the same name, and I'm like, fuck. Why? And he hits it twice. It's like, okay, if it's a better finishing move, you shouldn't have to hit it more than once.
Nope.
I don't know. Maybe Al Snow's pissed. He's like, why are you? And he's like, oh, out of respect, because I don't think there's really anything you can do about. Anyway.
I think he needs to add more snap to it, though.
All right. Chris Mace, your thoughts on this match here?
It was just to showcase Holland, but like you said, his first match, he did something different with the finisher. Had a different name. Now we're changing everything. It's like going, okay, he already had just one match. Why are we changing everything? I think it was fine the way it was the first go around. Why are we doing this down? And like you said, you got to hit your finish twice. It's not really a finish, is it? You got to hit it twice on Saxon Huxley. I mean, a big name star, yeah, you hit it and then kick out, understandable. Saxon Huxley, and you got to hit it twice to beat him? Come on, give me a break. Like I said, the match is okay. We already knew Holland was going to win this, so.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's not his second match. Like, he's had 2 or 3 matches where he's used the snowplow as the Northern Grit. And suddenly they're changing it. And, yeah, twice? He didn't even go for the pin the first time and not succeed. He just hit, well, I guess maybe he's... But is he supposed to be a heel now because he wants to hit? No, I don't know. Anyway, Chris Willis, your thoughts on the match?
When I saw the European Jesus lookalike coming out, I'm like, well, Ridge Holland really needs to stop wrestling jobbers. It's not even funny, like seriously. But him changing his finisher, he could have kept the old one that he had. It was really perfect for him. Like the Alabama Slam? Come on, man. It was like, and you got to hit it on 2 dudes? A jobber? Come on, man. Like Holiday said, I'm like, oh, man.
All right. Alabama Slam, but you do it like a buckle bomb.
Oh, that would suck.
No.
That would suck something fierce.
Alabama Slam into the top rope, but in the middle. So he springs back and then grabs him for a DDT and then hits like a sort of and then hits the Northern Grit. Hits the snowplow.
I was about to say, you're giving a lot of credit to Luke Menzies here.
You know what? I don't know why not. You know, they've done a very, very good job of repackaging him.
Yes.
But he has done his own part.
Mm-hmm.
He's considerably bigger than he was the last time we saw him.
He actually looks he keeps on looking more and more intimidating as the weeks go by.
Yes. So I will give him credit to do it. But something other than just the Alabama Slam. But yeah, do it into a buckle bomb. Then I'll take it. But otherwise,
that would be inventive right there.
Otherwise, go back to whatever name he called it before, and then give him the snowplow back.
Straight to the slammer.
And just have what's his name, Tom Phillips, excuse himself and be like, sorry, I called it by the wrong thing last week.
Yeah.
My apologies. Something.
Very, very proper.
Chris Willis mentioned they got to get him away from jobbers. And even though Saxon Huxley, like I said, is a name brand jobber, who is going to be the first guy that he faces that he is just going to like demolish that's like, you know, substantial, like maybe like the tag team, the South Wales Subculture, one of those two.
I was about to say, like, I can see him, like, you know, pulling a whole police crap and, like, saying, like, Flash Morgan Webster, Mandrew's just probably disturbing the peace with all his arm waving and his loud music.
Please don't give him an actual police gimmick in any way, shape, or form.
he'll be like the new version of the Big Boss Man.
Chris Willis, who do you think is the first like feud, like actual roster member feud? I don't want to downplay Saxon Huxley, but I mean, come on, for real, like
Cassius Ohno.
Ooh,
that would be interesting.
Mace.
I would go with Travis Banks.
Eh.
That would be interesting.
I think that's the most likely. But
yeah.
I would like to see Cassius Ohno. I would also like to see Mandrews.
Yeah.
But let's go with, for me, I'll just go with his partner, Flash Morgan, the man with 3 names.
Flash Morgan Webster.
The man with slightly more names than I have.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's move on.
He'll probably take them both out. They together they weigh about him.
Let's move on to my favorite part of the night. We get to see Jordan Devlin. Although
yes!
Earlier in the week they said he has good news. His Jordan Devlin Cruiserweight Championship World Tour is coming to a London... No, not London. Where is it? I actually wrote it down.
Going global.
Yeah, he's going global. He's coming to Coventry.
Yep. They're going back to Coventry.
So next week starts a whole new round of tapings, and he's going to be there.
Yep. That makes the heart happy. I wonder who he's going to fight, though. Or if he's just...
God, I hope he fights somebody.
If he doesn't, it'll be just a setup for a match in Dublin.
Oh, no. If he doesn't, it'll be to set up for a match a few weeks later, still in Coventry.
Oh, that works, too.
So either we get to see him the first week, or we get to see him at least in a few weeks.
The last week that they're there.
Who knows? Who knows?
Meanwhile, if he decides to defend the championship, it's going to be Kenny Williams. I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with Kenny Williams.
Kenny Williams would be a good match, like a good cruiserweight match for that.
Yeah, but it's so predictable. Does anybody see Kenny Williams winning? I don't.
If he puts it in there with Mandrews, it's going to be like an awesome match.
Mandrews would be the best choice, I think.
That'd be a barn burner.
Yes.
That would be a match at Dublin.
So the match we do get is Isla Dawn versus Valkyrie, and strike a pose.
Yeah, pretty much. I scratched my head on that one.
So my thoughts on Valkyrie up to this point was that she's fairly clumsy. It seems like she's been working on that. She's not any less boring though.
Nope.
Not so far, but
the crowd does not get into her at all.
Not really. What are your thoughts, Willis?
I thought the match was pretty good, pretty solid, pretty short and sweet. Valkyrie with the victory. But what's next for Isla Dawn? She's always up and down, lose, 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 win, loss, 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 win, win, loss, loss. It's like, and plus she really needs to take
Can you remix that real quick? The women.
Lose, 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 win, win, win,
Again, I fucking love you guys. Chris Mace, what were your thoughts on the women's match?
I like both their entrance themes. I still can't figure out what that badass entrance theme that Isla Dawn has. Why is she not a heel already?
Seriously.
And Valkyrie, I like her theme, and then she gets in the ring, and the first impression I get is, I'm not sure what pose that is. I don't know if that's your constipated pose or what you're trying to tell everybody. I have no idea. But the match itself, like I said, I like Isla Dawn. I think to me she should have got the win. She's got more of the upside. Valkyrie still, like, to me, looks clumsy in the ring to some degree. She looked like she was better than the last match we saw. But I wish Isla Dawn would have gotten the win, but that's not going to be. So, and there went my light. So, Valkyrie. So, like I said, Valkyrie got the win. I'm still not impressed with her as of yet. But then again, I said the same thing with Ian Dragunov. Look what matches he's been pulling off as of late, too, when he first started. So,
this is true.
We'll see.
Jerry?
I really wanted Isla Dawn to win this, even though I knew she wasn't going to. But I want to see what's going to be next with her anyhow. We know Jenny's looking for somebody. Maybe she'll take her under her wing, and that, like, they'll have this whole, like, either tag team type thing going. That would be pretty cool. but I don't see that happening either. I'm just not sure. Isla Dawn has all the potential and all the charisma and everything to be an awesome, possibly a women's champion down the road. But they need to settle if she's going to be a heel or a face, which she definitely should be a heel at this point. But I don't think they're going to do that with her. I just don't see what's going to happen.
Well, this match started off very chain wrestling-like, although it wasn't wrestling so much as a series of pinfall attempts. But it was all very smooth, and this is the point where I'm like, okay, she's been working on some of this, because this is the kind of shit she was trying last week, or a couple of weeks ago, that was clunky looking.
Yeah.
But in the end, you know, she hits like 3 kicks in a row. I think these are my... Oh, there was a good spot where Isla Dawn 619 leg sweeps Valkyrie, or Valkyrie's legs out from under her, where she's standing on the middle rope in the corner, and she goes the back of her head first into the padding, and then where am I at? Fuck. And then Isla Dawn hits a meteor off the top rope, but only gets a near fall. But eventually, Valkyrie hits a Pele, like an overhead kick, and then hits this sick spinning heel kick, and then goes up top and hits that top rope axe kick to the back of the neck for the pinfall. Which I like the finisher. It's different.
Oddly enough, like the person I could actually see pulling off that move a lot better if they would actually let her have it and actually give her a win would probably be Jessamine Duke. She's got the legs for it, and that'd be really cool to see her coming off the top rope with like a scissor kick.
Yeah, but then she'd just be stealing Valkyrie's move.
So?
All right,
they have to do something with her. Shane is not going to be coming back.
So we get an interview with Ligero, and he's talking about Noam Dar, because Noam Dar has been talking about him. Now, what's funny to me about this interview is he mentions right off the bat that all these people that like to talk about him, and who was it? You remember, Jerry?
No, I wasn't really paying much attention to Ligero.
Damn it. Joseph Connors was talking about him.
Yeah.
Somebody else was talking about him.
Devlin,
yep.
and he represents Noam Dar.
Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, both those dudes beat your head off. So like
they beat the horns right off of them.
Yeah, so like, why would you reference them talking about you when you really didn't do anything about it? Anyway, so Noam Dar's been talking about him, and he says the one thing they have in common is they always do it behind my back, not to my face. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure Jordan Devlin did it to your face. But anyway, this is going to set up a match. He challenges him, but he's going to let him know right now he's already talked to Sid Scala and Johnny Saint, and that match is next week. So, cool. I mean, I'm in favor of that match. I like Noam Dar.
Oh, well, I like seeing Noam Dar wrestle, too, but I just get kind of tired of Ligero.
I would have much rather seen here, though, Noam Dar like come into the picture and be like, man, I'll say it right to your face, man. I'll see you next week, and I'm going to beat you. I'm going to tear those horns off your head.
I want to see him come out with a mask on.
He's gonna Nova Roller kick the mask off his face and then pin him and then move on. Because it's Ligero, and he's setting this up. Anyway, we're going to get that next week. Who gets to go next? Chris Mace. Who do you think wins that match?
Noam Dar.
Willis?
Put your pinkies up. Noam Dar, because when I see that promo from Ligero, like Jerry said, it's like, oh, I don't care too much about it. He's just an up and down wrestler. He can't win the big matches. It's like win, lose, lose, lose. Win, lose, lose, lose. Win.
I like this song.
Lose. Can I get a beat again one more time, Holiday? Lose, win, win.
I tried. So, you gonna make it 4 for 4? Or are you gonna call Ligero? I guess not. 4 for 4, everybody. Everybody figures Noam Dar's got this. Watch, we're all gonna be surprised.
Yeah, that's gonna be the one where Ligero pulls off the upset.
Somehow, some way. We are on to the main event. Dave Mastiff challenges Walter for the NXT UK Championship. And, man, I called this match going in. I was like, you know what? Now that I see these two big fuckers come out here, I think this is going to be kind of boring for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
And Jerry's like, yep, I'm going to be like, it's going to be the same old same. And then the chops, and Jerry's like, well, no, the chops are what's going to wake me up. But, I mean, for the most part, this was kind of...
Dull.
Dull. Dull is a good word. But not to pad the answers, who gets to go first? Chris Willis.
Chris, what are you eating?
No.
Did you bring enough for the rest of the class?
I'm surprised you guys really didn't care about this. I thought the match was pretty good for a good 8 minutes. The crowd was kind of being hella annoying with the
I think the last 3.5 minutes might have been a good, possibly great match. But the entirety of it, it's pretty much what I expected. I was whelmed by it.
The crowd was getting very annoying, like the first 2 to 3 minutes, like with the and I heard the little clap your hands little chant. I'm like, come on, take this match more seriously, crowd. Come on, UK. But it was a good house fight. It really was. They did went for a lockup, hammer lock for a little bit. After that, they just went for move, chop, strike after strike.
A lot of rest holds.
Yeah, I've seen that as well.
Mm-hmm.
But
I thought it was pretty damn good. I actually really enjoyed the main event.
What do you think, Chris Mace?
I thought it was pretty good. There's one spot in particular, like you could tell he missed him with the Into the Void a mile away. As soon as Walter moved, you could tell he literally was not planning to hit that move first time. He didn't hit the turnbuckle. He just here's the ring post, boom, I'm going to fall in front of it when he goes into the void. That was clearly, obviously, he fucked that up. Other than that, like I said, I thought it was a good back and forth big guy matchup. Like I said, beating the shit out of each other. We already knew Walter was going to get the win. Had they built Mastiff up more, because it looked like he had such momentum. They were building him up. Then he lost to Coffee at that last man standing match, which took away a lot of his momentum and credibility to me going up against Walter. So as soon as they did that, I was like, yeah, he's not going to beat Walter.
And
sure enough, he didn't beat Walter.
What was that, Willis?
And he lost to Jordan Devlin as well.
Yep.
Yeah, that was another one, too. I think that hurt him more than anything, too, was him losing to Jordan Devlin. That took a lot of credibility.
Quite simply, Mastiff was not going to beat Walter for the championship on NXT UK television.
No.
Likely the last match taped at that location, because we're going to be at a different location next. So this was probably a month that was not going to happen. And Jerry kept waiting on Finn Balor to show up.
Yep.
And I'm like, it's not going to happen. This happened a month ago. Nobody could keep quiet about this for a month. Nobody.
I kept quiet about Alexander Wolf for a month and a half.
Yeah, for me personally. But it just so happens I missed all of those posts.
Yeah.
But anyway, I have some notes on this. What were your thoughts?
Everybody's been clamoring for this match. It's like, who's going to be the one that beats Walter? Mastiff's going to be the one that beats Walter. I've been saying no about that since people have been talking about it. No. Mastiff just isn't there. He's just bland to me. He really is. It's horrible. It's painful to watch on occasion. That's why I'm clamoring for him versus Finn Balor, like Walter versus Finn Balor at this point, because anytime Walter has a worthy opponent, Joe Coffey, awesome match. Jordan Devlin, like way ago, that was really great too. Mastiff, I was not going to see a good match out of this. I wasn't going to. It's just wasn't in me.
Well, the question of can Mastiff beat Walter, a few months ago I'd have said maybe. Before he lost to Joe Coffey, and before he lost to Jordan Devlin, I'd have said maybe. In this case, I say go fuck yourself. Really? Who in their right mind would put money on Mastiff in this match? But maybe it was a self-fulfilling prophecy going in, me thinking that I wasn't going to enjoy it like I should. But, I mean, I just didn't. Like, all of the hard-hitting stuff at the beginning was just the regular stuff. And just about everything Mastiff hit or tried to hit was just the regular stuff. Walter Walter varies his moveset, but it's always basic moveset.
Mm-hmm.
Even when he goes up to the top, it is just a splash. He don't even froggy style it. He just that's why we call his moveset number 1.
Yep.
Powerbomb number 1. Top rope splash number 1. Because it's all as basic as it gets.
Basically, Chris Jericho actually said in his book, like, he goes by the whole thing KISS, K-I-S-S. Keep it simple, stupid. Pretty much if you have, like, you know, a simple move set and you actually, you know, use it properly, you can pull off any kind of match and it'll still look great.
Well, even the few notes that I do have are all their basic moveset. Like, Walter dodges the first into the void, like Willis had said. And he goes for that drop kick, that shotgun drop kick into the corner, but Mastiff dodges it and hits a senton. And then finally hits the into the void, goes for the pinfall, and only gets a 2 count. And at that point, you're like, yeah, that's his finishing move. This match is not going to happen in his favor, definitely. Anyway, he goes up top, but Walter knocks him off, and then goes for a clothesline, but he counters the clothesline with a clothesline of his own. And at that point, I'm like, that shouldn't have happened. Because they get back up, and they fight again, and Walter hits him with a chop to the throat. And then he gets him on his knees and hits him with a chop to the back, picks him up and puts him in the powerbomb and hits it and gets the pinfall. And I'm like, if that's how this was going to finish, why did Mastiff, like, get knocked off the top rope and then still hit a clothesline?
Yeah. Like,
he should have taken a clothesline and then all those moves and then the powerbomb to make it look like Walter had to, you know, put some effort into finishing him. But yeah, I was very whelmed by this match. It was okay.
To me, it was much like the ending of the Rhea Ripley Bianca Belair match at the most recent takeovers. The fact that it took just that one, like, you know, granted it was off the ropes and everything, the riptide off the ropes to put Bianca Belair down. It should have taken more to put down Mastiff if he was going to look strong, and it just didn't.
I have 2 positive takeaways here. Walter defended the UK Championship on NXT television, so we get that out of the way for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And Walter defended the championship against Dave Mastiff, finally, which we had been calling for up until Dave Mastiff's recent few losses.
Mm-hmm.
So we get that out of the way finally, too, and we can move on, hopefully, to Finn Balor. But that brings us to the end of the main event, and here on the NXT party, we like to rate the main event using good old-fashioned NXT. So, let's start with Chris Mace. Out of 5 spots of NXT, where do you rate this main event?
I'm going to give it just a little above average. I'm going to give it a 3.
Okie dokie. Chris Mace? Chris Willis. I knew I was going to fuck it up at some point.
I see how you get him confused.
You know, listening to you guys, especially you, Jerry and Stefan, about how you guys wasn't feeling the match too much, I was about to give it a little higher, but I was like, you know what? They're right. They're on point. The match only lasted 8 minutes.
Was hardly the epic that we usually get out of Walter.
Yes.
This is true. Even on NXT UK television.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go 2 3/4, but I'm gonna add an extra quarter on a good show.
Jerry?
Oddly enough, that's about the rating I was going to give it to. But you know what? I feel like my time was kind of wasted with the Walter versus Mastiff match, so I'm actually going to dock a quarter of a point. So it's like my total is going to be 2 3/4
spots of NXT.
Yes,
2 3/4. Damn, Jerry, that might be the lowest you've given anything ever.
No, because I think we actually rated Piper Niven versus Jazzy Gabbert lower than that.
That is quite like
no 12 rounds match. We rated the horrible.
No.
Oh wow!
The British rounds match. Oh yeah.
Oh,
okay.
That's the best nap ever.
So I spoke too soon, but I'm glad we brought those up because those are some terrible memories.
I actually remember falling asleep when we were doing that first take.
Yeah.
No more rounds. No more rounds.
So a lot of pressure here. I think 3 is fair. This was good. This was passable. But again, I was whelmed by the whole. The only thing I liked was really the opening match. And
Wolf versus Banks.
I'm surprised because it was Wolf versus Banks. Like I should have been able to get into the Ridge Holland match, but it was basically a squash after that initial flurry by Saxon Huxley. And then they changed his finisher, and it didn't make sense, and he needed to. And oh God, I'm gonna take off. I'm gonna agree with Jerry. 2 3/4.
You know what? Let me subtract my quarter. Yeah.
I'm inspiring doom upon my followers. Somebody take me out.
I'm drinking the orange Kool-Aid.
Yeah, everybody's drinking the orange Kool-Aid. Yeah, 2 3/4. I feel like
we haven't seen that big of a turnaround since I got you and Noah to change to
this was
Adam
Walter defending the title in the main event. This was against Mastiff. It should have been big. They should have treated Mastiff better until he got to. He should have. Even if he'd lost, I could see the loss against Joe Coffey because Joe was the next in line to the title.
Yeah.
But definitely not to Jordan Devlin, and so don't book that match. You know, make sure his next several matches are big guys and he kicks the shit out of them.
Mm-hmm.
But still,
he needs to do something. That or like I've actually brought up this idea a couple times. Bring Bronson Reed over there, have him team with Mastiff, and have them be a powerhouse tag team.
I think Killian Dane needs to show up at NXT UK.
Yeah.
This should have been massive, and it wasn't. Or this should have been epic, and it wasn't.
Okay, they just said this. What about a Killian Dane versus Dave Mastiff feud, like a short one?
I don't want to see Killian Dane in NXT UK for a while because his ties with Alexander Wolf are too soon.
Sanity, yeah.
Like as soon as you do that, you're gonna have people talking about, them getting together, either him joining Imperium or Wolf breaking from Imperium. Like I don't want to see any of that start off.
That would be pretty insane for Dane to like act like he's gonna enjoy Imperium, but then be a challenger to Walter.
So don't bring him over until it makes more sense.
Mm-hmm.
I think Jerry's idea of having him tag with Bronson Reed is a better idea because Bronson Reed really doesn't have any ties fucking anywhere.
And they both wear the red and black.
They're both kind of, well, yeah.
They're both. That'd be an awesome team, I think.
So that brings us to the end of this episode of the NXT Party. Thank you for joining us. Thank you guys for getting on the show at last minute. I realized we were supposed to have the East Coast Professor Williams on our show live, and we were going to do the show live, but he had to cancel. He had training to do. He is a professor after all.
Yep.
And so these guys jumped in last minute. The two Chris's, both of whom have my shirt. That was nuts. So next time we'll get Jerry's shirt.
Fuck all that.
Who goes first? Chris Willis, where can we find you if we want to see more of your dark self? The Shadow Man in the orange shirt.
Follow me on Instagram, Chris J. Willis 86. Follow me on Twitter, GB Chris Willis. Follow my AEW Nations group on Facebook. Yeah, that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Mace.
You can find me on my YouTube channel, The Holiday Christopher Mace. Very humbled and honored with
1,000 subscribers.
So quickly. Yeah.
10 times the amount of us.
That's crazy. And then, like I said, I will be doing the drawing later tonight after 205 Live. It'll be posted on my channel for the Holiday Theme episode of 100. And then if you want to follow me, you could find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, Christopher Mace. Support everybody in the NXT and supportnotq.com.
So I'm Stefan, and this is Peanut Butter and Jealous.
Oh, shit!
So,
petty.
So, Chris, congratulations on 1,000 followers. You got to let me know how you did it, because we're at like 160 something.
We're losing people.
We were at 166 and we lost 3. So there you go. For us, it's been a slow process. So yeah, I need to know your secrets. But other than that, thanks for joining us. As big as his channel is, he still comes and he joins us on the show. So thank you. And thank you, Chris Willis, for joining us last minute. Thank you, Jerry, for joining me as always. Thank you guys out there for joining us. by watching. And if you would like to be on a future episode of the NXT party, you can come be up here. You can find me on Twitter. Go to nodq.com/Stefan. That's Stefan. If you just want to look me up on Twitter, it's at Stefan R. Osborne, OSBORNE. As always, that R stands for restricted. You can also find the gentleman on Twitter.
At Gerald_JSJ, my Facebook group Armbar, all capital, ARMBAR, exclamation point.
Nice.
It's catching on. This.
Yeah, we have Armbar. We also have Aftermatch Wrestling as a group on Facebook. Find us there. We have Aftermatch Wrestling on Instagram at Aftermatch_Wrestling. Also on Twitter at AftermatchRest. So we take the ling out of wrestling. I'm on Instagram at Osborne.Stefan. He's on Instagram as well.
_gentleman_slaughter.
And we are also on Patreon at Stefan R. Osborne. If you want to help the channel and can.
Give us money.
Give us money if you got it. If not, if you have a moment, if you like the show, click the like button. If you like all the shows, click the subscribe button. And if you want to help us grow the channel, click the share button. Share us on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or YouTube or wherever you can share.
Put us in fortune cookies for all I fucking care.
If you have a friend that likes to watch wrestling, send them the link. Maybe they'll like to watch his bullshit about the show. Meanwhile, for the holiday Chris Mace, for the good brother Chris Willis, for the gentleman Jerry Slaughter, I'm the wizard of No DQ, Stefan Osborne. Thank you for having a spot of NXT with us, and we will see you NXT time.